10 weird signs someone is thinking about you, Old Stoic wisdom. Have you ever had an odd, unexplainable moment where a thought about someone pops into your mind, only to discover later that they were thinking of you too? It could be a sudden shift in energy, a change in your mood, or perhaps a vivid dream about them. At first, it seems like a coincidence, but could it actually be more than that? After years of studying the complex nature of emotional bonds, I can tell you this. Sometimes our minds send out subtle signals that our hearts can sense and respond to. In this video, we'll explore 10 fascinating, unexpected signs that someone might be thinking about you right now. Stay with me until the end because the final sign is the one most people overlook, but it might just reveal the most profound emotional connection of all. Sign 1. Sudden emotional shifts. Imagine you're going about your day, feeling grounded, calm, and everything in your life is following a familiar, predictable rhythm. Then, out of nowhere, something changes. A sudden surge of emotion hits you, perhaps a wave of sadness, anxiety, or even inexplicable joy, and you're left wondering, where did that come from? Why do I feel this way? What triggered it? The thing is, there's no clear source, no immediate explanation. Your surroundings haven't changed, and yet your emotional state has taken an unexpected turn. This isn't just another random mood swing. This is a deeper, subtler experience that could be much more than it seems on the surface. It could be that someone else's emotional energy, especially someone with whom you share a deep connection, is reaching you from afar. It could even be someone from your past, whose unresolved feelings or thoughts are causing an unseen ripple that affects your own emotional state. This phenomenon is often discussed in psychology under the concept of emotional transference, which suggests that strong emotional energy, particularly from people we are deeply connected to, can subtly influence our own feelings. This is especially true when it comes to soulmates, close friends, or even unresolved relationships from the past. You can think of it like this. Their thoughts and emotions create a ripple effect, and you are unwittingly catching that emotional echo, even if they are miles away. You might have experienced this without even realizing it, but have you ever felt the inexplicable sense that someone close to you was thinking about you, or perhaps struggling with something, without them saying a word? These shifts can occur when the emotional energy of others subtly infiltrates your own mental space. What's fascinating is that this ties into the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy. The Old Stoics, known for their unwavering principles of mental fortitude and emotional control, understood the importance of guarding one's internal peace. The Stoic mind, described as an iron mind, was one that could withstand emotional disturbances from external forces, whether from the environment or other people. The Stoics emphasized the value of maintaining equanimity, no matter what was happening around you. They knew that we live in a world where external circumstances, including other people's emotions, can try to sway our inner stability. However, the true Stoic response to such shifts wasn't to ignore them or to resist them outright, but rather to recognize them and choose how to respond. In these moments of sudden emotional change, you must stop and reflect, pause and examine whether this emotion is truly yours or if it's simply a reflection of someone else's energy reaching you. If your heart suddenly feels heavy for no obvious reason, or if you're flooded with feelings of joy or anxiety that seem unearned, it's time to ask yourself whether those feelings are your own. The Stoic principles teach us that emotional mastery is not about being unaffected by others, but rather about being aware of our emotional responses and controlling how we act upon them. The wise Stoic would not allow these shifts to hijack their peace or derail their purpose. Instead, they would use these moments as a tool for self-reflection and would take control of their emotional responses with deliberate intention. It's important to recognize that our connections with others, particularly those we are close to, run deeper than just surface-level interactions. They can create emotional bonds that transcend physical distance and time. These bonds have the power to influence us, sometimes in ways that we don't immediately understand. But the key to navigating these emotional shifts, according to Stoic philosophy, lies in how we approach them. You don't have to be a passive participant in your emotional state. The Stoics encourage us to take action that involves observing, reflecting, and deciding how to respond to what we feel. They teach us that it's not about the emotions themselves, but how we manage them that defines us. A true Stoic knows that emotional turbulence is inevitable, but it's how we navigate that turbulence that separates the strong from the weak. So, the next time you find yourself caught in a sudden emotional shift, don't panic or rush to judgment. Instead, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this feeling truly mine, or am I picking up on someone else's emotional energy? It might take practice, but the more you can discern the source of your emotions, the more you will be able to maintain your inner peace and control. Like the old Stoics who mastered their own mental states through years of practice and dedication, you too can train your mind to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This is the essence of developing an iron mind, one that doesn't crumble under emotional pressure, but remains steadfast and resilient, no matter what emotional waves come your way. The Stoic way is not to be ruled by your feelings, but to be in charge of them. Don't let others' emotional turbulence disrupt your peace. Recognize the power of your own mind, and remember that you are always in control of how you choose to react. The next time you feel your emotions unexpectedly shift, take a step back. It may very well be someone else's thoughts or feelings reaching out to you, but you have the ability to determine whether or not you will allow them to affect you. Let's be clear. Mastering your emotions isn't about ignoring them. It's about understanding them, controlling them, and using them to your advantage. That's the iron mind, the Stoic principle that enables you to stay calm amidst the storm, to remain focused on your path regardless of what's happening around you. You must develop this ability if you are to truly live with purpose and intention. Sign 2. You dream about them? When you repeatedly dream about someone, even though your waking mind hasn't focused on them during the day, it can leave you feeling puzzled. These dreams might feel peaceful or even jarring, sometimes filled with strange scenarios or unresolved emotions, but there's a common thread. That person is present. This isn't mere coincidence. The dream world operates in a realm beyond rational thought, and its messages are deeply rooted in our subconscious. Psychology teaches us that our subconscious mind often processes things that we may not consciously acknowledge. Things like hidden emotional connections, suppressed feelings, or even unresolved tensions that don't fit neatly into our waking reality. Dreams are an extension of this process. When someone is thinking about you intensely, especially with strong emotions attached, their mental and emotional energy can transfer to your subconscious, making them appear in your dreams. It's a phenomenon that's part of our deeper psyche, and it reveals something critical about how human connections work. It's important to note that their presence in your dreams doesn't necessarily mean they're longing for you or thinking about you in the way you might want them to. Sometimes it reflects unresolved tension or suppressed emotions that have not been processed in the real world. These unspoken feelings might cause their energy to become so strong that it bleeds into your subconscious, showing up when you least expect it, even while you sleep. And it's not always romantic. It could represent emotional yearning, a desire for closure, or even simple curiosity. The point is, the energy they project has a substantial enough presence to imprint on your psyche, creating a pattern that forces them into your dreams time and time again. In the context of practical Stoicism, which encourages clarity and control over one's emotions, this connection between your subconscious and their emotional energy could be seen as a direct reflection of an unresolved bond that still exists, whether you've acknowledged it consciously or not. As you reflect on these dreams, ask yourself, is this just a random occurrence, or is it a message, quiet, subtle, but significant, from the universe or your subconscious mind? In Stoic philosophy, the focus is on understanding the deeper meanings of our thoughts and actions, striving for insight into how our emotional world shapes our reality. The repeated presence of this person in your dreams could very well be a signal that a connection, long overlooked or unacknowledged, still holds weight in your life. It could be a reminder that unresolved issues or emotions, whether positive or negative, are still influencing your thoughts and dreams, and they demand attention. In modern life, with its fast-paced distractions, we often neglect the more subtle signals our subconscious is trying to send us, brushing off these dream occurrences as mere coincidence or imagination. But the truth is that dreams aren't random. They're reflections of deeper truths. The Stoic rules of self-discipline and mindfulness can guide us here, urging us to not only pay attention to the obvious, but to also recognize the power of subtle, hidden signals. Your dreams are a place where your mind processes these messages, and by paying attention to them, you're tapping into a deeper wisdom that can guide your actions in the waking world. You mustn't ignore these dreams. The Stoic approach would be to confront the emotions they evoke, to assess them with a clear and rational mind. Instead of rushing to dismiss these dreams as mere fantasies, you should see them as opportunities for reflection. Why is this person reappearing in your dreams? What emotional undercurrent is being stirred? Stoicism teaches us that emotional clarity is a source of power, and by confronting the unknown, by bringing these feelings into the light of conscious thought, you're able to regain control over your emotional landscape. In modern terms, it's not just about letting the subconscious dictate your feelings. It's about using your awareness to navigate these emotional messages. You may not always know what these dreams mean immediately, but with time, you'll come to understand that they are a form of communication, a message that needs to be acknowledged, understood, and integrated into your waking reality. This is how you apply the principles of practical Stoicism. You face the emotions head-on, break them down into manageable pieces, and you don't let them control you, but rather you use them as stepping stones to greater emotional intelligence. Remember, the mind does not operate randomly. Every thought, every feeling, every interaction you have with the world and with others leaves an imprint on your psyche, and sometimes these imprints surface in your dreams. These aren't just idle thoughts, but reflections of deeper emotional energies, often from people who still have an influence in your life, even if that connection is unspoken or dormant. So when you dream about someone again and again, don't dismiss it as a quirk of your mind. Instead, view it through the lens of Stoic wisdom, acknowledging that your subconscious may be trying to work through something that requires your attention. You must reflect on it, assess it with the clarity that Stoicism promotes, and then take deliberate action based on the insights you gain. Don't wait for the energy of another person to dictate your emotions. Instead, harness the power of your dreams and your subconscious to gain the upper hand in the game of life, ensuring that you are always acting from a place of strength, awareness, and deep understanding. Your subconscious is offering you an opportunity for growth. Do not ignore it. Let it be the guide that leads you to a more self-aware, emotionally empowered version of yourself. If you've ever had someone appear repeatedly in your dreams, even when you weren't thinking about them, it's not just coincidence. It's a powerful message from your subconscious. This is a call to pay attention, to confront those emotions, and embrace the Stoic wisdom that will guide you toward deeper understanding and emotional clarity. If you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I confront my emotions with clarity and strength. Our dreams are not random. They are whispers from the subconscious that demand our attention. Sign 3. Eye-twitching or tingling sensation. In the labyrinth of life, we often underestimate the hidden forces at play, the invisible energy that subtly guides our thoughts, actions, and interactions. The paths of wisdom tell us that the body is far more than just a vessel. It is a finely tuned instrument, attuned to the unseen. When you experience a sudden, inexplicable twitching of your eye or a strange tingling sensation on your face, don't dismiss it as mere fatigue or coincidence. There's power in those moments. Someone, somewhere, is thinking about you with intensity so strong it stirs your body into action. Stoicism teaches us to be vigilant, to look beyond the surface and understand that everything that happens, even the smallest of physical reactions, is connected to something deeper. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These sensations, the sudden twitch, the brief tingling, are not random. In Eastern traditions, especially those rooted in ancient wisdom, they are seen as signs that someone's emotional energy is reaching out to you. Perhaps it's someone talking about you, or someone whose thoughts are deeply focused on you. Your body, without your conscious awareness, may be the first to detect this. It's a psychosomatic response, a reaction to an energy signal your mind hasn't yet processed. How often do we hear of people who experience a sudden feeling, only to later discover that someone was thinking of them or speaking of them at that very moment? It happens more often than you think. And when it does, take note. Don't ignore it. It's a call to listen, to tune into the vibrations of the world around you. Your nervous system is acutely sensitive to these energies, and when someone's focus is on you, whether it's a loved one, a friend, or even someone you've just met, your body is picking up on it. Stoicism wins when you embrace the notion that everything, even these small physical phenomena, serves a purpose. So the next time you feel that strange sensation, ask yourself, who is thinking of you right now? And more importantly, how will you harness that awareness? Will you let it pass? Or will you take it as a sign, as a whisper from the universe guiding you towards something more? This is your moment to act, to acknowledge the wisdom your body is offering, and to move forward with greater awareness and power. Don't let these moments slip by unnoticed. Recognize them, embrace them. That is the essence of the Stoic path. Sign 4. Sudden urge to check your phone. You're not expecting a message. You're not anticipating any communication at all. Yet, without warning, you feel an undeniable urge to check your phone. There's no notification. There's no sound. Still, something compels you to reach for that device. It's an unexplainable pull that you can't shake off. You follow through, and a few moments later, it happens. A message, a missed call, or their name appears on your screen in some way, as though your intuition had already anticipated the event before it became a reality. This is more than mere coincidence. In the realm of psychology, this phenomenon is often referred to as anticipatory intuition, a subtle but powerful awareness that something is about to occur, particularly when we share an emotional bond with someone. The truth is, your mind is continually processing a multitude of signals, many of which you are unaware of. These signals are emotional cues, non-verbal communications that transcend physical distance. Even when you're not consciously thinking of someone, your subconscious picks up on these frequencies, alerting you to their presence or intention long before your rational mind can catch up. It's not about magic or mind reading. It's about the iron mind, the Stoic principle of understanding that we are always receiving and interpreting information, even on a subconscious level, which affects our emotions and perceptions. The Old Stoic wisdom teaches us to trust in our ability to understand and control what we can, but also to acknowledge the limits of our perception. In moments like this, when you feel that unexpected urge to check your phone, it's as if the world is telling you something. It's important to remember that you must be open to receiving those subtle messages, to honour them rather than dismiss them as random or trivial. The iron mind, developed through practice and awareness, allows you to acknowledge and understand these subtle, premonitory signs with clarity and confidence. Consider Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoics, who said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." What he meant was that our mental landscape is deeply influenced by the signals we pick up, both consciously and unconsciously. You must train yourself to recognise those signals for what they are. When you feel that pull, it is a sign that your mind is aligning with something or someone important. The Stoics didn't teach us to react impulsively, but to stay calm and composed, observing the situation without emotional interference. So instead of dismissing the impulse as irrational, take a moment to reflect. Is there a deeper connection here that your iron mind is guiding you to recognise? And remember this, the Stoic principle of self-mastery isn't just about controlling your external environment, it's about mastering your internal responses. When you develop this discipline, you can remain grounded and composed, even in the face of unexpected events. If that pull to check your phone arises, take a moment to pause. Don't be in a rush to dismiss it as coincidence. Reflect on it. You might find that your awareness, cultivated through the Old Stoic teachings, gives you an advantage in recognizing connections and signals that others might overlook. But beyond that, you must understand that these experiences are not mere accidents. They are reflections of the emotional ties you have with others, and when you are tuned into those connections, your intuition becomes sharper. Trust your instincts. Let them guide you without being swept away by unnecessary emotion or reaction. This is the core of Stoic wisdom, choosing not to be ruled by the fleeting impulses and distractions of life, but rather to recognize and master them, using them to sharpen your understanding of the world. So the next time you feel that sudden pull to check your phone, don't ignore it. Embrace it. It could be a sign of something deeper, a subtle but powerful message that is guiding you. In those moments, remember that you are practicing the Stoic art of being aware, present, and receptive. You are honing your iron mind. Your awareness is growing stronger, and your connection to others is being tested in ways that are beyond the rational. The universe is always sending you messages, sometimes through anticipation, sometimes through intuition, and it's up to you to recognize them and respond with clarity. As the Stoic Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Similarly, you don't need to be bombarded with constant notifications to find fulfillment. The true wealth comes from your ability to remain calm, collected, and deeply connected to the world around you, even when it feels like everything is happening just beyond your awareness. If you've ever felt that sudden urge to check your phone for no reason, only to find a message or call from someone important, you know there's something deeper at play. This isn't just coincidence. It's your mind picking up on subtle emotional signals. Remember, it's the power of the Stoic principle of awareness at work, sharpening your intuition and your connection to the world. So, if you believe your mind has the power to pick up on these hidden signs, drop a comment below. I trust my iron mind. Sign 5. Hiccups, sneezing, or random itching. The body has an uncanny way of responding to the energies and emotions around us, often in subtle, mysterious ways. You've probably experienced this: random hiccups, uncontrollable sneezing, or a sudden itch on your nose or cheek with no clear explanation. These strange bodily reactions are often dismissed as nothing more than a fleeting inconvenience, yet they hold a deeper, ancient significance. Across various cultures, people have long believed that such unexpected occurrences are signals that someone, somewhere, is thinking about you, perhaps even gossiping about you. This idea may seem a bit outlandish at first, but let's take a step back and look at it from a psychological and physiological perspective. These small, seemingly inconsequential bodily responses are connected to your autonomic nervous system, the part of your body that responds to stress, emotional triggers, or even energetic shifts in your environment, all of which you may not consciously notice. The truth is, when someone focuses intensely on you, whether with love, concern, or frustration, your body picks up on it before your mind even does. This is part of what the Stoic rules allude to, the idea that we are all connected through invisible threads of emotion and energy. In fact, your body's responses to these shifts can serve as a practical tool in understanding how others are engaging with you, sometimes even before you realize it yourself. Hiccups, sneezing, or itching aren't just random occurrences. They can be seen as micro-responses that alert you to the presence of someone's thoughts. As strange as it may seem, the human body is incredibly attuned to the emotional atmosphere around us. It acts as an early warning system, giving you the opportunity to be aware of subtle changes in the environment, whether they are related to others' thoughts or just an energetic shift. The Stoic teachings remind us to embrace what we can control and to stay grounded, even when these moments of unpredictability arise. We don't always need to analyze every sensation. Instead, we should simply acknowledge these moments, understanding that they are a part of the larger interconnected web of human existence. In modern life, where everything moves so quickly, the beauty of these subtle signs is often overlooked. But if you learn to pay attention, you can better understand the dynamics of your environment and relationships. The next time you feel a random itch or experience an unexplained sneeze, don't dismiss it right away. Instead, remember that the Stoic principles encourage you to stay alert and aware, to notice the small things, because they often hold more meaning than we realize. Sign 6. You think of them at the exact same time. In the hustle and bustle of your daily life, you're absorbed in your work, your tasks, your world, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a thought of them strikes you. A memory, a feeling, or even a moment you once shared. It's strong. It lingers. It's almost as if their presence is reasserting itself in your mind with no warning. You brush it off, chalking it up to random thoughts. But then, later you find out that they were thinking of you at the exact same moment. Perhaps they were on the verge of sending you a message, or maybe they already did. You're left in awe, wondering how such an uncanny alignment of thoughts could have happened. Was it just a coincidence? Not at all. This phenomenon is what many would call mental synchronicity. It occurs more frequently than we give it credit for, especially between individuals who share a deep emotional bond. Psychology supports this idea, suggesting that there are shared neural patterns and emotional resonance that allow for such moments of connection. The truth is, when we are emotionally attuned to someone, our minds start to align. It's almost as if we tune into the same frequency, like two tuning forks vibrating in unison. This isn't chance. It's a sign that something profound is happening. Their thoughts, their emotions, their mental signals are being broadcast to you, and your mind is tuned in to receive them, even if you're not consciously aware of it. It's a testament to the power of emotional connection and intuition, and a reminder that our minds are far more connected than we often realize. So the next time someone pops into your head without explanation, don't dismiss it as coincidence. It could be more than just a fleeting thought. It might be a response, a signal sent out into the universe that you were destined to receive. When you think of them, they may very well be thinking of you in return. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We are not disturbed by events, but by the views we take of them. Your thoughts, your feelings, are not random. They are connected to the world around you in ways that transcend the mundane. Pay attention, take note, and don't let these moments slip by unnoticed. This is the path of wisdom, a path where true connection transcends time and space. Take charge of your life, tune into your surroundings, and master your understanding of these subtle signals. Just as Stoicism teaches us to maintain control over our responses, so too should you master the art of paying attention to the unspoken, the unseen. So next time you experience a sudden thought of someone, ask yourself, are you really the one doing the thinking, or are you merely tuned in to the deep resonance of their mind? This is how you win in the game of life. This is how you embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, recognize the signals, and seize them as part of your journey toward mastery. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 7. Random memories resurface. Have you ever found yourself minding your own business when, out of nowhere, a vivid memory bursts into your thoughts? It might be the laughter shared between you and someone, the way they looked at you with a certain intensity, or a moment long buried, one you hadn't thought of in years. And yet, there it is, rushing back as though it had just happened yesterday. Why, you wonder, why now of all times? The answer, rooted in the principles of Stoic wisdom, isn't as random as you might think. Old Stoic teachings, especially those of Marcus Aurelius, remind us of the importance of recognizing connections between people, both emotionally and mentally. Stoics believed in an iron mind, able to control reactions to external forces. Still, they were aware of the powerful, almost mystical ways in which the mind and emotions could work. In this case, those spontaneous memories are not just random thoughts, they are signals. The human brain is wired to store emotional memories deeper than any other kind. Emotions tied to people, particularly those we have unresolved feelings for, become imprinted within us like a permanent mark. This deep connection to those we care about doesn't easily fade, even if time has passed. When someone thinks about you, perhaps with longing, desire, or unfinished business, your brain picks up on those vibrations. Your body, on a subconscious level, can hear them, and it triggers what psychologists call emotional recall. It's as if their thoughts and feelings send an invisible wave through time and space, reaching you. The mind responds with echoes, pulling those specific memories forward, bringing them back into the present. This phenomenon is not merely nostalgia, it's the presence of someone's emotional energy calling out to you. This brings us to an important Stoic insight. We must remain vigilant, aware of the world's subtle signs. The old Stoics did not allow emotions to dictate their actions, yet they were not blind to the interconnectedness of life. When an unexpected memory reappears, consider it a message. It may not always be clear, but it is meaningful. The resurgence of a memory tied to someone may signify that they are thinking about you, yearning to be connected with you in some way. Remember, it's not always the grand gestures that indicate someone's thoughts. Sometimes it's the quiet, almost imperceptible moments, the ones your mind can't forget, that tell you the most. Don't ignore these sudden memories. Don't brush them off as simple nostalgia or coincidence. The old Stoic principles urge you to observe these moments with clarity. Trust that there is a reason these feelings and images have resurfaced. In life, many things are beyond our control, but we must exercise our iron mind by recognizing the patterns that unfold before us. In this case, that random memory might be the universe's way of reminding you that you are not forgotten, that someone is still thinking about you. Even if you think time has erased all traces of that connection, your mind still holds the key. Consider this a call to action. Don't let the echoes of the past go unheard. Reflect on the deeper meanings behind these moments. The world doesn't always reveal its truths openly. Sometimes it speaks to us through flashes of memory and subtle emotional cues. Take a moment to reflect on what these memories might signify, and don't be afraid to share your thoughts with others. Do you think it's possible that someone's energy can reach you across time and space? I invite you to share your experiences and opinions in the comments. Let's continue this discussion about the iron mind, the principles of Stoicism, and the uncanny ways our emotions are connected. Sign 8. Feeling their presence. There are moments in life when you find yourself sitting alone, whether in your room or outdoors, and suddenly you feel as though someone is there with you, even though no one is physically present. It's a sensation you can't quite explain, as though the air shifts or a gentle warmth surrounds you, creating an almost palpable presence. You might even catch yourself looking around, expecting to find them standing there, yet there's nothing. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as projection or presence hallucination, a term often linked to strong emotional connections and longing. It happens when your mind, deeply attached to someone, creates sensory experiences that feel incredibly real, even though they are rooted in your emotions. But here's where things get interesting. There's more to this sensation than just psychological theory. Some believe, based on energy psychology, that emotional bonds create invisible fields of energy, subtle signals that continue to linger in a space. This idea ties into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, especially in its understanding of the connection between mind and body, and the recognition that our emotions can influence far more than just our immediate thoughts. It's not just about missing someone. It's about an energetic resonance between two people, an invisible thread that continues to vibrate even when they're apart. In this sense, the sudden feeling of their presence could very well be your own heart tuning into their emotional signal, a reminder that even in separation, you are still connected on a level that transcends words and sight. This is a key part of practical Stoicism, which encourages us to understand and embrace these subtle connections as part of the fabric of our experience, learning to trust in the unseen forces at play in our lives. Stoic rules often emphasize the importance of awareness, of recognizing the patterns and influences that govern our emotions and actions. And this is one of those moments where your mind and emotions can speak in ways you might not have understood before. Take this sensation seriously, not as an irrational moment or a trick of the mind, but as a reminder that there are forces at work that connect us in ways we cannot always see or explain, but can always feel. Recognize these signals and use them as a guide to understand your deeper emotional ties and to strengthen the unseen bonds in your life. Don't dismiss these moments as mere coincidences. Embrace them as reminders that, no matter how far apart you may be from those you care about, the connection remains, and it's as real as anything you can touch. Practical Stoicism invites you to be present in these experiences, to reflect on their significance, and to appreciate the strength of the emotional energy that links you with others. Recognize that sometimes it's not just a fleeting thought or a random moment, but a deeper connection that's at play, reminding you of your ties to the people who matter most. If you found this insight on unseen connections valuable, comment below and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe for more ancient wisdom. Comment to remember. Sometimes it's not just a fleeting thought, it's a deeper connection at play. Sign 9. Random song, word, or object triggers a strong emotion. The universe has a way of speaking to us, a language beyond words, and sometimes it's through the faintest hints, a song playing on the radio, an unexpected scent, or a fleeting glimpse of an object. These triggers have the power to stir deep, intense emotions, making you feel as though time has collapsed and you've been instantly transported back to a moment shared with someone. It's a sensation that cannot be ignored, one that speaks directly to your soul. What you're experiencing is not a mere coincidence, but rather a psychological phenomenon called emotional anchoring. Your mind, ever vigilant and wise, links certain sensory experiences with powerful memories and emotions, binding them together in a way that can awaken dormant feelings when triggered. And when someone is thinking deeply about you, these emotional anchors, the very ones you've shared with them, become heightened. They stir your senses, making your subconscious react as if the person is right there with you. It's the path of wisdom to recognize this for what it truly is. Your heart is in tune with theirs, and your mind is letting you know that the connection has not been severed, even when distance may separate you. This, my friends, is not just an occurrence. It's a bridge, a silent whisper between hearts. As Epictetus would remind us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Recognize that these moments are more than just signs. They are a powerful reminder of the invisible threads that bind you to others. In the vast world of Stoicism, we learn to use these moments wisely, acknowledging them as signs of connection and not as trivial events. They are part of the grand design, part of the Stoic win of mastering the mind's power. So, the next time a song unexpectedly stirs you or a familiar scent takes you back, don't dismiss it. Don't let it pass by unnoticed. Reflect on it. Let it remind you that the paths of wisdom and emotional anchoring are working in your life, guiding you to understand and appreciate the deep connections you share with those who matter. Remember, you are not alone. The world is sending you its signs. You must be wise enough to receive them. Pay attention, act with purpose, and recognize that this is a sign of connection, not just chance. Your connection is alive, and so long as you remain aware, you'll continue to feel its presence time and time again. Sign 10. You catch them staring at you, then look away fast. When you catch someone staring at you and then quickly looking away, it's more than just a brief moment of awkwardness. It's a powerful, non-verbal signal that you are on their mind. You'll notice it, how their eyes lock onto you for an instant. Then they shift away almost as if they're trying to hide their feelings, like they've been caught in the act. It might seem trivial at first, but trust me, it's not. This subtle interaction is a sign of something much deeper, a glimpse into the unspoken emotions that stir within them. Psychology has long known that eye contact is one of the most powerful forms of communication. In fact, our eyes have the ability to express more than words can, especially when it comes to admiration, curiosity, or even hesitation. That quick glance, followed by a sudden look away, often reveals feelings that someone is either too shy, too uncertain, or too afraid to openly express. It's as if their subconscious is betraying them, revealing an emotional truth they're not ready to confront. But you must understand this. This fleeting glance, though brief, carries weight. It speaks volumes about what they might be feeling at that very moment. Perhaps they're attracted to you, maybe they're uncertain, or maybe they are simply trying to gauge your reaction to their presence. Regardless, their eyes are telling you something that their words might not. It's a connection, subtle but undeniably present, and it's often more telling than any conversation you could have with them. In life, we often overlook these small moments, brushing them off as insignificant. But remember, as the Old Stoic teachings remind us, what we do is what we are. When someone locks eyes with you and then hastily looks away, it's a reflection of what they're feeling deep down. It's not just about the awkwardness of the moment, it's about understanding the emotions and thoughts that lie beneath the surface. The Stoic philosophy urges us to be aware, to read between the lines, and to understand that every action, no matter how small, reveals something about a person's inner world. It's the kind of awareness the Stoics refer to when they speak of having an iron mind. An iron mind isn't one that is fooled by outward appearances. It sees beyond the veil, noticing the subtle clues that others might miss. That brief look away isn't just about shyness. It's a manifestation of something deeper, something they may not even fully understand themselves. And so, in that split second, when someone's eyes flicker away from yours, don't dismiss it. Don't simply chalk it up to nerves or an accident. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a reflection of their true feelings. You're more connected to them in that instant than you may realize. In a world that is increasingly distracted, these moments are rare, and they carry significance. The Stoics understood that the world around us is full of signs and signals, if we are only attuned to them. By embracing this mindset, you cultivate a greater awareness of the subtleties of human interaction, which leads to deeper connections, both with others and with yourself. Remember, the gaze reveals something they might not be ready to say out loud. It's a moment of vulnerability and insight into their emotional landscape. In that brief exchange, you are closer than you think, closer than words could ever bring you. So there you have it, the 10 weird signs someone might be thinking about you right now. Some are subtle, some feel almost magical, but all point to one thing: the invisible threads that connect us beyond words and distance. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of human connection. And I want to hear from you. What's the strangest sign you've experienced when someone was thinking about you? Drop your story in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes the heart knows what the mind can't explain. Take care and stay curious. See you in the next one.